Another big discussion point on the internet at least, is the little mid-credit scene where J.K. Simmons' character Roy approaches Andy Samberg's Niles at the wedding and realizes it's not the Niles that has been stuck in the loop with him, it's just regular Day One Niles. And that's where he realizes the plan has worked. But now it opens up a whole can of worms of multiverse, right?
Yeah.
That means, so like if J.K. Simmons now in the stuck time loop.
Actually, no.
Yeah, because remember, they're in their own pocket universe.
Yeah. So Kristen Milioti's character explains it that they're stuck in a bubble, and to get out, they leave this pocket, this bubble that seems to, at least in her research, right?
Sure.
Is that they exist separately from reality,
Right.
and they're just stuck in this thing. So she explains it like once you get out, you leave this.
So here's the question, though, right? If J.K. Simmons does that, right, they're out of the pocket universe and living their lives. If he jumps out, is he on that same time with them, or is he on a different time? Like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I would assume when he jumps out, he's at his own area or wherever that picks up. I mean, it could be, doesn't. I mean, we're talking about like theoretical quantum mechanics.
But it's rife for now spin-offs and sequels and in-between quotes.
Nope.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if there's a sequel,
Here's what
I'll
it is.
flip this table.
No, here's why I would be okay with a sequel. You move from the rom-com genre straight into sci-com.
Sci-fi comedy?
Sci-fi comedy.
So like Hot Tub Time Machine?
yes.
No, Hot Tub Time Machine was
It
not
was
good.
garbage. It was garbage. But
Hot garbage.
But these guys, I feel like, have a solid grasp on their,
because of
fake science.
their trip.
Well, there
because
is
of their
there is
trip.
well, people have identified one error. So
One error.
Sarah says that when she blew up the goat, it disappeared. She couldn't find the
That
goat.
is,
right?
yeah.
Now, if that was true and they blew themselves up,
That would be
Niles and Sarah should not have been at the wedding when J.K. Simmons went, right? There's still a version of him there. So that is where people are like, what does this mean? Does this mean there is multiple universes?
Oh, that's a great
Because
point.
now there are technically two Niles existing. There is Niles who experienced 40 years in the thing, and there is a version of Niles now who is...
Whether they're on the same timeline or not is different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are two different Niles.
Well, I mean, but it makes it sound like, at least from Sarah's explanation, that what they're experiencing in this time loop is like an aberration. It's not.
Right.
So there might be two versions, but one of them is imaginary and one of them's real. Or one of them's bubble and one of them's, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, it's interesting. What do you guys think of the actual science behind it? I mean, they don't go into it.
It's
but the mechanics.
Sure.
The mechanics of it.
I think it works for a simple rom-com. We don't have to get that cray-cray about it.
Right.
I mean, it's fun to as a thought experiment.
What do you guys think of the dinosaurs? I was a little puzzled by it. I'm like, they were doing mushrooms, I think. So, you can just explain it as like they're just
I wonder if that's
but-
because when you get out to the desert area, there are those random... I mean, there's where we stopped on our way out to Joshua Tree. There's the T-Rex and the...
fake. They're like toys.
Yeah, the fake gigantic dinosaurs. So I'm wondering if they were just playing off the idea that there are actual dinosaurs and a dinosaur museum somewhere in the desert. I'm wondering if they're just playing off of that goofy shit.
So the directors actually addressed this, and they were asked point blank, "Why do you have dinosaurs appear in it?" And it's way more simple than that. They're fans of Jurassic Park and wanted to put a shot of dinosaurs in there. That was the only reason, and they thought it looked
And you
cool.
can explain it. You can explain it with mushrooms.
You can explain it away with mushrooms. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I've never done a milk trip. Ever.
Yes, you have.
Nope. I don't do milk.
You've done milk. I've seen you drink.
Wait, no, milk we classify as acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a shroom trip. Never mind.
Doesn't even know his own. It's like
Maybe he's on a milk trip right now.
2 questions. Would you consider this best movie of 2020 thus far?
What else has come out this year?
Nothing.
The Five Bloods.
The Five Bloods. Yeah. Anything else?
I don't know of what you've seen. That's probably like the biggest,
Thing that I've
the
seen?
best one that you guys have seen.
Well, what's the best thing you've seen this year?
This is probably up there. It's definitely my top 3. My top 3 right now is The Five Bloods, this, and a period piece called Emma.
Never seen Emma. It's sad. I'll probably put The Five Bloods a little bit higher than this, but this is definitely, I think you're right, top 3, because I think I've only seen 3 movies from this year. I can't remember the third one.
Other movies that have come out this year are like Onward, which is the Pixar movie.
Didn't see it.
That was a good one.
It was solid.
It's a good
That was
animated film.
good. Like Trolls World Tour.
Never saw it. Those have
I
animated
mean,
movies.
there's really not a lot of movies because there's so many been delayed and whatnot. Oh, there was The Invisible Man. That
I
was
wanted
considered
to
a
see
good
that, but I never
one.
got to.
Did they
You
actually
saw it, right?
digitally release it or no?
I think they did. I think that is now available to stream.
Now, question: was this always destined for the Hulu platform, or was this going to go for major release?
That is a good question. So it had its premiere at Sundance in January, and Neon and Hulu acquired the distribution rights.
Oh, so then I'm going to assume.
So Neon was probably going to put it in theaters, and it is seeing it is being released in drive-in movies right now. But I think it was always
Gonna be a Hulu
intended to
thing.
be go on to Hulu pretty much shortly after. I don't think it was going to be a wide movie release.
Well, Rabbi, your question has been answered. So
The other question: would you, if you were the Andy Samberg character or the Sarah character, so the male or the female, or the J.K. Simmons character, if you were any one of those three, would you permanently stay or would you try and get the fuck out?
I think the answer is always get out because
What?
you can say I'm going to stay forever.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're going to get bored of that at some point. You stay there for 1 million days. The 1 millionth in one day, you're going to be like, okay, I need to do something different now. Because even though you have unlimited options, you're limited because of the limitlessness. That doesn't make any sense, I know. But you get bored of you would just get over it. You're like, I don't age, there's no consequences. You would absolutely give that up because you would want at some point you would be like, I need a life where things can happen to me.
That makes sense.
So you could say I would stay, but I guarantee you at some point you would give it up. Because
I wonder, does this go back into like human nature where it's like we know two things in this world, like pretty clear, cut and dry. We're born, then we die. So,
are you sure you're born? You don't remember your birth. There's
Fine.
thing.
We know
One
one.
thing.
No, we know two things. Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich is better than Chick-fil-A's.
Wait, you believe that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And we
Wow.
die. Those are the two things I know to be truer than true.
But are you sure that you yourself will die?
No.
Yeah.
Well, then in that
that's the
case,
beautiful
fuck it.
part.
I'm staying in the loop. Because
Yeah.
there's a possibility I could eat unlimited amount of spicy chicken sandwich.
There's also no guarantee though that the loop goes on forever, right? It's just like you trust that when you go to sleep every night, you will wake up, right? And because that happens 100% of the time probably, and everybody sitting at this table, 100% of the times you've gone to sleep, you've woken up. Doesn't necessarily mean there's not going to come a day where you go to sleep and you don't wake up.
Right.
So that's the other thing about the loop. It's
There's
just
this big earthquake thing that you can strike at any moment.
right. So I think there's a certain amount of trust, blind faith, whatever you want to call it, to staying in the loop or leaving.
And that's anything in the world.
Right,
Anything in
exactly.
the universe.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's quantum physics 101.
Well, if that was the case, right, then you would live that day for the most part. Like if you didn't know, but after like let's say 10,000 times, I guess at what point though does your brain kind of not break down, but just kind of say, "Fuck it."
Well, here,
And then what?
Let's take COVID-19 for an example, right? At what point has people said, "Fuck it, I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do whatever I want."
True.
So it depends on the person. Some people are going to be like, "Nope, I'm going to do it immediately because I feel threatened when I'm wearing a mask and I want to be free." And
Are you talking about the Costco guy that wasn't wearing his mask
Yeah.
and he felt fucking threatened?
yeah, and he said, "Back up." Yeah, that guy.
Idiot.
Or there are going to be people. There are going to be people in the world right now that will literally never probably leave their house ever again, no matter how safe they say it is out there, right?
Yeah.
Like there are going to be people that are
That's
that
probably
freaked
the
out.
minority, though, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
but right. In theory, those two extremes are the minorities, right? In terms of the day zero people who are like, I'm just going to keep doing stuff no matter what anybody says, and then the people that are like, I'm never going back.
I'm never going back.
That's true. I mean, it wasn't until maybe 3-4 days ago I finally have come to the realization that I'm never going back to. I'm not for 2020. I'm not going back to an office.
Right.
So I finally have actually like converted my at-home desk to support my work, and that took what 4 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was still a belief. There's still something
There
in the
was
back of your
something- yep,
mind
yep.
that you were going to go back to the office.
I mean, I think to illuminate this whole thing perfectly, great comment here from Fire Nation Zuko. Maybe we were created last Thursday.